right? There was also another case naman of a young gentleman, OFW yung mother, tinulungan ni Pao, ni Attorney Acosta yung mother to get home. I don't know if you saw that, nag-viral din siya, pero tinanggal. Recently, I wanted to show the video here, pero sinensor na. So, nakita na yung bata na parang naloko din because nga of vaccine-related viral encephalitis. So, that was the diagnosis given. So how do the mRNA vaccines work? So the mRNA is hidden, or it's inside a lipid nanoparticle, so much like a fat bubble. So when this fat bubble enters the cells of our body, it will release this mRNA. The mRNA will hijack the body. It will tell the body to make the spike protein. So yung body natin, yung gagawa ngayon ng spike protein. And this spike protein will be released already by our cells. So, for some cells, pag release yung spike protein, mag-burst yung cell, magla-lyse, masisira yung cell. For the others naman, it will just be attached to the cell surface. And for the others, na on the way out, it's going to have cleavage. And kapag nagka-cleavage, magkakaroon tayo ng activation of the blood platelets. So, we have a high propensity for clot formation. So this is just how our immune system works. It's important to explain this kasi this would be important for the side effects. So para maintindihan nyo saan ba nanggagaling yung side effects. So our immune system will try to contain and destroy the spike protein. So it will produce nga, as I said earlier, antibodies. The antibodies are actually like soldiers. So they're the soldiers of the body. So they're going to attack the spike protein. And then they're also gonna produce memory cells so that the next time na our body will encounter the spike protein, meron na tayong antibodies or soldiers ready for attack. So there are different kinds of antibodies in our body, just like there are different kinds of soldiers. We have the Marines, we have the Navy, we have the Army. So the different antibodies are found also in different areas of the body. They're specific for particular areas. So the antibodies produced in our organs and in the bloodstream are the IgG and circulating IgE. So this protects the internal organs. But in our lungs, in the linings of our respiratory mucosa, it's only the secretory secretory IgA being produced, right? So, ang problema ngayon, yung vaccine, in-inject mo sa katawan, so sa circulatory system, dahil siya sa organs. Ang maproproduce mo dyan ay circulating IgA. If we come into contact with the real COVID vaccine, it enters our nose. So, ang unang the first antibody that will come into contact with that is the secretory IgA. Hindi ka naman nag-produce ng antibodies ang secretory IgA kasi first time nila may encounter tong antibody, itong antigen. Right? So it's just like saying that COVID entered the body using an aerial strike. So, di ba? Anong meron? So, kung aerial strike yan, edi si Air Force yung sasagip dapat. Pero yung prepare lang ng body natin is si Army. So, local force lang. Paano mo naman daw kakalabanin yung aerial strike? Kung yung military mong prepared ay yung Army lang, yung nasa land lang. So, that's why we see a lot of breakthrough infections. Kasi yung immune antibodies na produce ng katawan natin ay magkaiba. Right? We produce only the circulatory antibodies but not the secretory antibodies which is found in the respiratory system. So this is one fundamental design flaw of the vaccine and it is explained on the paper of Dr. Palmer and Bakti. So lahat ng slides ko may clickable link so you can see and research on the studies for yourself. So another problem that was identified by Drs. Palmer and Listas, the spike proteins actually have a high affinity to the ACE2 receptors. So bago makapasok yung spike protein sa body natin, meron susi yan. Nakasarado lahat ng pintuan ng katawan, kailangan susian. Yung susi dyan is ACE2 receptor. ACE2 receptor not only found in the lungs, it's also found in the brain, the heart, the pancreas, the liver, the kidneys, and other organs in our body, even the blood vessels. So ano mangyayari pag yung spike protein pumasok sa mga ibang organs ng katawan natin? Our immune system will attack our own organs, right? It will attack our own body. So yun yung isang dangerous thing there. And another dangerous thing pa here is that since we injected the vaccine into our body, we cannot tell the vaccine where to go. We cannot instruct the vaccine, o dyan ka lang sa muscle magproproduce na. We can't tell the vaccine to do that. So the vaccine can go anywhere in the body. It can go to the brain and produce spike proteins in the brain. It can go to the lungs and produce spike proteins in the lungs. So lahat ng organs na yan, pwedeng masira. Dahil sa spike, number 1, it produces the spike protein. And number 2, because of the immune reaction. Kasi marirecognize ng katawan natin na yung spike protein na yan all over the body is foreign. Invader siya, so i-attack nila ngayon yan. Ano mayayari sa cells na may spike protein? Masisira lahat. Magkakaroon tayo ng blood clots. Pag nasa brain, pwede tayong magkaroon ng stroke. Pag nasa lungs, pwede tayong magkaroon ng breathing problems sa heart, myocarditis, thrombosis, etc. So yan yung main mechanism. And another complicated mechanism is that nagfragment or may part ng spike protein na nag-break off. And this S1 fragment actually binds to the platelets. Platelets yung nagpo-form ng blood clots. So if this happens, magkakaroon tayo ng blood clots talaga all over the body. So you see, we see varied side effects of the vaccine, and this is largely dependent on where the vaccine will lodge in our bodies. So the greatest propensity, sabihin yung highest risk is the heart and the blood vessels kasi doon naman yung circulatory system. So doon talaga dumadaan. So lahat ng dugo naman ng katawan dumadaan sa puso kasi yung puso yung nagpapump ng blood. So it's understandable why most side effects happen in the heart and in the circulatory system. Diba? So unfortunately, sinasabi nila na walang side effect. Here in Antipolo area, may nag-viral last month of a 17-year-old girl na parang naloloka. She was diagnosed with COVID vaccine viral encephalitis, meaning yung vaccine malamang pumunta sa utak. Doon nag-produce ng spike protein na maga yung utak. So unfortunately, we don't know if there's a cure for that. If kaya ng immune system niyang labanan to. Right? There was also another case naman of a young gentleman, OFW yung mother. Tinulungan ni Attorney Acosta yung mother to get home. I don't know if you saw that, nag-viral din siya, pero tinanggal. Recently, I wanted to show the video here, pero sinensor na. So nakita na yung bata na parang naloko din because nga of vaccine-related viral encephalitis. So that was the diagnosis given. So how do the immune system react to the mRNA vaccines? So for the first injection, normal lang, parang nagkaroon ka ng virus, gagawa ka ng antibodies. What happens with subsequent injections or the booster injections? So dumadami ngayon yung soldiers ng katawan. Remember that the mRNA is encapsulated in a lipid nanoparticle. So yung lipid nanoparticle na yan, hindi nakikita ng body yan as foreign. So pag pumasok siya sa body natin, sa cells, tas yung cells gumawa ng spike protein, yung spike protein lang yung makikita niya as foreign, yun yung i-attack niya. So sobrang dami ng lipid nanoparticle, hindi niya na-detect na foreign. So hindi niya mako-control yung amount ng spike protein na ma-produce. Right? Because nothing will prevent our cells from producing spike proteins. So ngayon, since our body is already prepared, meron ka ng soldiers ready to attack. The next dose dadami naman yung soldiers, so mas heightened yung attack. Pag nag-booster na, sobrang dami na ng soldiers, so sobrang heightened na yung attack. Sobrang ng daming vessels, sobrang daming cells, sobrang daming organs na madadamage na. Kasi nga, heightened na yung attack. Masyado nang primed yung katawan natin. So it's our own body attacking the spike protein being produced by our body. So yun yung nakakatakot dito with the boosters, the unending boosters. So the more the boosters, the greater the side effect, the autoimmune side effect. So are COVID vaccine safe? Sabi ng DOH, yes, ang bakuna na meron tayo ay ligtas at epektibo base sa siyensya at sa mga eksperto. Sinong eksperto to? Madaming eksperto, right? So, ang claim nila is walang side effect ang vaccines or rare lang. It doesn't cause serious side effects, it doesn't cause death. But if we look at the mga surveillance databases all over the world, we could see that there are deaths. So this is from the Vigilance, which is managed by the European Medicines Agency. So you could see here that as of Feb 26, 2022, meron 40,000 cases of deaths and 3 million plus injuries. And this is for the vaccines of Moderna, Pfizer, Astra, and Janssen. Unfortunately, wala tayong data masyado on Sinovac kasi Sinovac's not being used in these big countries. This is from VAERS, which is the Vaccine Accident Reporting System. This is the US program for vaccine safety, and it's managed by the Center for Disease Control and the FDA. So you can see here na even for the young children, merong ding side effect na nakikita na. And then this is from the VG Access, which is the one managed by the World Health Organization. So you can see, talagang merong mga cases of adverse reactions, and especially ito, myocarditis, which we're seeing a lot of these days. So Pfizer admits na meron talaga silang alam na side effects. I don't know if you have heard na there was a subpoena case pa para lang ilabas ni Pfizer yung adverse effects data niya. Ayaw niyang ilabas yun, so it had to go through court pa bago nila ilabas. But this is one of the mga documents that was given by Pfizer to the FDA. So I want to go straight to display to table number 5. It shows na there is a risk of vaccine-associated enhanced disease. Ano to? If you remember Dengvaxia not so long ago, it is similar to this. Kasi nga, as I explained earlier, your immune system is already primed for the disease. So once you come in contact with the disease, sobra na yung response ng immune system mo, heightened na yung attack. Kaya, parang instead of helping, it actually damages. Ito yung Dengvaxia all over again. And itong data is no longer theoretical kasi it's been occurring en masse since December 2021. And that's why, yun nga sinasabi ng mga doctors na longer safety studies should have been done before you injected before you've injected to almost the whole world these experimental vaccines. So that's why nga, dapat may long-term safety studies talaga. So these are the important potential risks. So yung vaccine associated enhanced disease, which isn't theoretical because it's being seen now. And then there's missing information of use in pregnancy and lactation, for the use in pediatric individuals, and for the vaccine effectiveness. So madaming mga documents about this, yung mga side effects na linabas lang ng Pfizer. Right? And then there's a lot of questions on the integrity of the Pfizer study. May nagsasabi pa na hindi lahat ng mga nagbibigay ng vaccine trained. Yung iba, worker lang ng isang fast food chain, hinila, sige, magbigay ka ng vaccine without training. Anyway, those who are the whistleblowers also lose their job when they question why is this happening. So talagang may malaking cover up. And this is from one of the FDA meetings, which was live streamed last September 17. So the following alarming statements were brought up. For starters, 6 excess deaths were required to save 1 life. So when we talk about medicine, we also compute the all-cause mortality benefit. So how many people need to be killed or how many people die so that 1 person can be saved. Ang nakita nila is that 5 to 6 die to save 1 life. So mas madami yung namamatay kumpara sa nasi-save. So they estimated that there are already 411 deaths per million doses. So I don't know why the vaccines are being allowed to continue. So the excess death is 5:1. So you killed 5 people in order to save 1 person from dying from COVID. Okay. So ito, yung myocarditis na sinasabi nilang hindi totoo. So this slide is from the CDC. So mahirap nilang sabihin hindi totoo. They say that 1 in 317 boys will get myocarditis from the vaccine. After the booster, it could be 1 in 25. So sa Philippines, nakakakita na rin tayo ng cases of myocarditis sa pediatric population. Right? Tapos, Pfizer recently updated its safety data sheet to include na the risk of myocarditis. Before wala siya ngayon, nandun na sa safety information sheet ng Pfizer na it's true may risk of myocarditis. Okay, so sinasabi nila that these are real and not rare. So you can click the link to see the stories of the people who say na talagang may side effects. Totoo siya, hindi siya rare as being claimed. Pag pinanood nyo to, may iiyak kayo. And then there's also athletes' hearts failing. Ang daming athletes all over the world collapsing in the middle of the game or in the middle of training. Sa katunayan ngayon, in the US, they added a new requirement for the physical exam of athletes, of student athletes, and that's ECG. So if you're vaccinated and you're an athlete, you have to get an ECG muna to check that your heart is in good condition before you're allowed to play. Diba? How sad. Pero nandyan pa rin, di pa rin nila tinatanggal yung vaccination and they still want to vaccinate the children despite all of this. In Romania, there was already, the owner of one of the team already said na he wants to ban the vaccinated athletes in his team kasi nakita niya na powerless sila or humina yung mga vaccinated. So this is from a very reputable journal. So the journal's circulation, so it's 71 years old and it was rated as the world's #1 journal in cardiac and cardiovascular system. So, sinasabi din nila na meron ng myocarditis. There's a risk of myocarditis. So, minonitor nila yung mga enzymes yung sa heart. And kasi yung enzymes na to lumalabas lang kapag may damage sa heart. So, mataas tong mga to for at least 2.5 months after the second dose of the vaccine. So, ito sana hindi mangyari. Pero nagkaroon yung Switzerland ng mass funeral protest for the children there who have died after the Pfizer vaccine. So, madami pa rin mga hindi naniniwala na misinformation na may side effects ang vaccine. Pero, all over the world, if I will click this link, let me just show you that there are actually more than 1,000 studies that show that the vaccines have side effects and are lethal. So you can go through all of these, You can go through all of these one by one if you want. Ayan. Kasi baka sabihin, misinformation pinispread ko. Pero yan, totoo. Meron tayong 1,011 published studies na that show that meron nga talagang side effect tong vaccine. Hindi siya 100% safe. Hindi naman pwede siguro tong 1,000 plus studies ay misinformation lang or hindi credible, diba? So for Sinovac, I'm sure madami sa inyong nagtatanong ano yung mga side effects ng Sinovac. Unfortunately, wala tayong masyadong data on the side effects of Sinovac kasi it's from China, hindi sila nag-release ng studies nila. But ang sinabi ng Sinovac sa China, it's not supposed to be for healthcare workers. And sinabi nila na pregnant and nursing women were not allowed to receive Sinovac. And women should postpone pregnancy for 3 months post-vaccination. And it was only for healthy individuals 18 to 59 years old. So that's from Sinovac itself. Ang nakita nila sa Sinovac is that it contained graphene oxide, which is a harmful metal. So for Janssen, for the safety information of Janssen, ayun, it has fetal cell lines. Ibig sabihin, it contains aborted fetal tissues. Mataas yung chance niya for severe allergic reaction kasi it has PEG, polysorbate 80, which is closely related to PEG, which is a known cause of allergies. And yun, it wasn't tested in immunocompromised patients. It wasn't tested in pregnant people. For Astra, alam naman na natin yan, ang side effect ng Astra really na very glaring is blood clots. So for the Sputnik, it uses 2 different strains of adenovirus. It was mostly studied for 60 years and over. So are the vaccines safe? Kayo na sumagot. Do you think the vaccines are
Mga
safe?
ka-Faith, I invite you to check out my merch store sa Merchiful at sa Shopee. Kung interested ka na makita yung aking mga merchandise item, punta ka lang sa link na ilalagay ko sa baba or sa taas ng video na to.
So that's it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope na na-bless at na-inspire ka dito sa aking vlog. Make sure na i-like mo at mag-comment ka sa baba ng video na to at mag-subscribe ka sa aking YouTube channel para lagi kang updated sa mga bagong vlog na gagawin ko. At huwag mo din kakalimutan na i-like ang aking page. So this been Adrian, Milag, encouraging you to lead your life to the fullest. God bless you more abundantly.